Oftentimes, the smartest people tend to overthink the most. This is because they hyperanalyze potential solutions, they overanalyze what's happening right now, and vividly imagine how things could go wrong if they choose incorrectly. These people are so busy thinking that they never actually accomplish anything. Days pass, weeks pass, maybe even months, and the cycle continues, time after time again. You overthink so much that it holds you back from ever taking action because you're always analyzing what could be. And when it comes to actually making changes within your life, they never happen. So let's discuss the 3 reasons why so many very smart people fall into this trap and the mental model you can adopt to completely overcome this overthinking within your own life. The first reason is that we've always been told what to do. From the time we're babies to grade school to being in the workforce, there's always somebody overseeing our lives. And the autonomy of thinking that we should be developing doesn't always happen. And this reinforces the mindset of having to wait on others to confirm or deny whatever it is we're doing. As a little kid, this is fine. We need adult supervision. We need to have some sort of guidance within our lives. But when we become adults and we're working a high stakes job or we're trying to build our own business, this is very difficult because deep down in our subconscious mind, we are awaiting approval from other people. And this gets us caught in that trap of overthinking because we don't think that we can make these choices on our own. Consciously, we know that we have the power to make these choices. We know that we can decide on X and move forward with it, but there's this subconscious block. And even the smartest of people can get caught in this trap of subconsciously waiting for the approval of other people. Maybe it's their boss, maybe it's their spouse, maybe it's their parent. This is because of the conditioning we experience our entire lives. Anyways, that's number 1. We're always told what to do. Number 2 is that limiting beliefs creep in, especially when the pressure hits. 99% of people feel stress and anxiety when in this high pressure situation. Oftentimes this happens because of your limiting beliefs, and these are the stories that are deep within your mind. Some of the most common limiting beliefs are along the lines of, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy of achieving whatever that thing is. Along with those, many people experience the following. You fixate on all your flaws and wonder if others will notice. You worry about being exposed as a fraud due to self-perceived lack of competence. You imagine all the hypothetical scenarios of things not working out because subconsciously you don't think you're worthy. Like I mentioned, this is something many people experience, perhaps upwards of 99%. And when you pair these limiting beliefs with the fact that we've been told what to do from a very young age by other authority figures, then it makes executing and taking action damn near impossible. And this is why we get caught in those overthinking loops over and over and over again. The third reason why many people get caught in these overthinking loops is because intuitive thinking is frowned upon. Most of the time we resort to logical thinking because, well, it's logical. We want to consider this variable and how it'll interplay with this variable and how by putting them together and taking action on a certain thing, we might get this outcome or that outcome or that outcome. Now look, logical thinking is very important. I'm all for it. Most of the time I will say, yeah, think through your options before you make a big decision. But the thing is, when we hyper-focus on trying to be logical, we get caught in these overthinking loops. This is because the smartest people, who are often the most logical thinkers, they can come up with all these potential solutions and all these potential scenarios that might make taking action feel damn near impossible because they need to consider everything. But you see, intuitive thinking is way different. Your intuition is the gut instinct. It's the first thought you have in a given situation. And when you need to solve a problem, when you need to get your way out of a situation where things aren't going so well, the first thing that comes to mind, that is your intuition. We all have an intuition, but most people completely ignore it. Many folks will be faced with a problem that they need to overcome, and they'll get this intuitive thought, this feeling or this sense that they need to take this particular action, but then they'll completely cast it aside and then go through all the potential solutions, all the avenues they could take logically. They do this and then they continue doing this over and over and over again, but never actually do anything. Meanwhile, the whole time they're thinking about all the things they could do to solve this problem feels productive. It feels like they're making progress, even though they're staying in place. One of the biggest reasons why many people ignore their intuition is because they think following their intuition means thinking emotionally. They think it means acting without actually processing the situation. But intuitive thinking is not emotional thinking. You can think of your intuition as the subconscious reasoning and pattern recognition part of your brain. And this happens beneath the threshold of your conscious awareness. I know, it sounds woo-woo, but there's some science behind it. The idea of intuition is tied to your gut, and that's not by accident, because your gut actually processes millions of bits of information per second, way faster than your logical brain does. Your gut is commonly known as being the second brain within the body. And when your gut processes all of this sensory information happening around you in a given situation, it rapidly relates this to your past experiences. And from there, it gathers information, it picks up on specific patterns, and then it helps you subconsciously or intuitively make a determination as to how you'll go about solving this problem. As I mentioned, this happens way faster than your critical thinking brain. In these moments when you have that intuitive flash of sorts, you may experience somatic markers. These somatic markers are things like a little bit of jitters or an increased heart rate or this weird feeling that you need to spit out information. So as you can see, intuitive thinking and listening to your gut isn't just airy-fairy emotional decision making. It's actually way more sophisticated, and following this advice is one of the best ways to calm down your analytical mind. And if you're somebody who's prone to overthinking, then listening to your intuition can be one of the best things that you can do. But as I mentioned earlier, we're told not to follow our gut. We're told to think through our options, to lay out our plan, to keep our head on straight. And as I mentioned, this is useful. Logical thinking is very important. I'm all for it. But there comes a time when you're plagued with options and when you're logically thinking through all these different scenarios that you overthink and you never take action. One of my favorite show and movie series growing up was Star Trek. In Star Trek, there's two main characters. There's Mr. Spock and there's Captain Kirk. Mr. Spock is a Vulcan. He's very logical. He thinks through all of his options. He's analytical, and he's always giving Captain Kirk data to go off of when he's making big decisions. Captain Kirk is different. He understands the logic and the data, and he knows the importance of analyzing things, but he doesn't always get caught in that overthinking loop. There'll be situations when Mr. Spock is like, well, you could do this, and you could do this, and you could do that. But Captain Kirk is like, nah, I just gotta do something. And he trusts his gut. This isn't to say that you should act impulsively. And this is not to say that you should act emotionally. But there comes a point in time when you've thought enough and you've assessed the full situation. If you're feeling trapped in that overthinking loop and you can't stop assessing what might happen if you do this, and you can't stop assessing what happened if you might do this, then make a damn decision. Follow your gut, because your intuition comes directly from your subconscious mind, which is way more powerful than your conscious mind. And most of the time, your subconscious is correct. So, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, be sure to like the video and subscribe. And if you're an entrepreneur or a busy professional who's stressed, overwhelmed, and feeling mentally foggy with all of the high pressure situations you're dealing with and having to make all these big decisions, and you just want some help, then check out the link below to book a one-to-one strategy call with me. Alrighty then, once again, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.